Well, it seems that my video worked. Humboldt Seed Company is listening.
Like we always do about this time.
This video is for educational purposes only, YouTube. Now, I know a lot of you probably saw that live stream with Ben and Nat and Hi Again, Basement Grow Show, and Dakota. It wasn't good, to say the very least. And I know a lot of you are pissed off with the whole weasel comments, and I was too originally, trust me. When I'm in the comment section being called a bad apple for trying to help the people, yeah, it pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie to you, it pissed me off. But he seems like a genuinely good guy who just is passionate and was pissed off and was talking to a handful of people. I'm not gonna apologize for him, but his actions were shit. They were shit, and I think that he can't come back from this if he apologizes. Now with Humboldt, that was a bad example. Clearly they're not great public speakers, but you know, they try to express that they're good people and that they mean well, and I think that they just worded it poorly. And again, like, these guys don't pay me anything. I have no skin in the game. There's nothing. I just want to clarify this, man. It's just the fact that the only reason this was brought up is that people weren't taken care of. And when it comes down to it, if you put out a product that you know is good, then you should have no worry to replace it or to refund those who weren't happy. You should be able to stand by your product. Not like the homie people under the stairs genetics. Putz just put a post on Instagram saying 100% guaranteed whether it's your fault or his. That's ballsy, but that's also respectable, man. That's somebody who's like, you know what? I know the margin on seeds. I know that, you know, triploids may be different, but I know that I can take care of business. And I'm not going to be in a situation where I don't do right by the people. Now with Humboldt, that's a situation that seemingly has gotten like nastier than I would want it to be. A lot of people with insulting names, trashing the company, going over the top, man. And I get you if you feel like they screwed you over and they did one over on the people. And after that live stream, it definitely did not help their case. And it seems like between myself and a few other content creators, the pressure was enough that it made some impact, it made some noise. And they luckily have been taking care of the people like they said they were gonna do. Well, not that they said they were gonna do on the live stream, but like their website says they will do in terms of customer satisfaction. And that's great. That means that this whole fucking drama and all this stuff was worth doing, obviously, because now the people are being taken care of. And that's all that mattered in the end. And as I mentioned before, do I feel like there was malice involved with this? I really don't. I feel like these are two stoners who are learning to run a business at scale, who've been growers and farmers for years, and this is a new realm for them. The internet's a different place, obviously. And instead of people shredding them apart and trolling them, you know, we should try to be a little bit more accepting and educating and trying to help them on how to do this right. For the most part, their genetics are fire. This was a real letdown, massive letdown. But at the end of the day, if they can make it right for the people, I don't know, bad things happen. It happens with companies. Look at the first AC Infinity clip-on fan. Didn't do really well. Unfortunately, a lot of people had issues. I luckily didn't have that clicking noise with the oscillation feature, but a lot of others did. And what did they do? They replaced them. They took care of the people. They didn't even need to put out a statement. They just took care of the people immediately. And then the statement they did put out was saying, hey, we'll take care of the people. With that being said, this website situation, was this done with ill intention and utilized to cover up essentially a wrongdoing? Well, according to Ben, no, this was not the case. I spoke with him this morning, and he was essentially telling me that this was an oversight by the web developer, essentially saying they changed the graphic on the listing, so it would be a default listing, it would show a different graphic. Well, with WooCommerce, a former web developer and still currently develop my own websites, WooCommerce isn't a graphic change, it's a price change, and there's usually not a default out-of-stock price change, so I don't know. I'm not saying he's lying, but I'm saying that does not make a whole lot of sense. And when it came down to it, I did get a little bit of pushback overall. And by the end of my long-winded message to him, he says, how would you like to see us address it?
Take responsibility.
I think that would have really eliminated all of this. There wouldn't even been a video for me initially. Honestly, 420 Things first video probably wouldn't even happened either, had he gotten an email saying, well, we've realized that these are leggy, potentially could have intersex traits, and may be something that you would consider getting a refund for or changing up if you had bad experience.
Simple, done, boom.
It's done. That's it. End the video. No, but seriously though, what it boils down to is just accountability. At the end of the day, had Ben and Nat just been more accountable for the actions, I think the people wouldn't have been so mad, myself included. Now as time's going on, we got a day or two in between this, it seems like they're starting to, whether this because of the pressure from the people or because ethically they just feel they needed to do it, Who knows? The main point is, when it comes down to it, is we the people, we have the power. And if a content creator is worth a shit, they will be a voice for the people. Period. Now, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, we need to hold companies accountable when they have mistakes like this. And we don't always have to be assholes about it. Like I'm telling you, as people, we need to do better at getting our point across without being so aggressive, because people quit listening. As soon as you start trolling, as soon as you start talking shit, they will tune you out. They'll call you a hater. They won't listen. They will not pay attention. You have to be able to have a proper conversation to articulate your point, to get it across. We're not going to get any traction if we're just throwing shit at people. We need to be able to work together as adults and as a community of homegrowers if we actually want to make any impact. Otherwise, it's really going to be just this argumentative, cliquey, high school kind of thing where people are throwing shit at each other and not necessarily throwing the proper criticism or feedback. And if that's the way things continue to go, then we're not going to be able to have brands innovate and do things in this space without the fear of this kind of blowback. I do feel responsible for a lot of the blowback that they have been getting, but I also feel they're responsible for it with that piss poor explanation on the live stream that didn't need to happen. So when you look at it, who's at fault? Fault isn't the matter. It's who's going to make this right. That's really what matters to me. Who's going to make this right? Who's going to fix this? Because living in the past is not going to help anybody. What are we going to do in the present, and what are we going to do in the future to ensure that this doesn't happen again? And honestly, this is the last that I really want to talk about this. I do not like the drama. This is not TMZ, and I'm not doing it for views. The video is not sponsored. It's not monetized. I don't give a shit if it gets 100,000 views. I really just want to get it out to the people. I wanted that last video to get to Humboldt, and obviously it did. Now, if you were somebody who did run into the Herms with these donuts, did they take care of you? Was your order fulfilled or reimbursed? Let me know below in the comment section. And I hope that this is the last time that we run into this, but as the space gets bigger, as companies start pouring in here more, and as more content creators start promoting products that are new to the space, these things can happen. Now, what we can't avoid is hiding behind content creators, disrespecting audiences, not paying people back for products that were faulty. These are things that we can avoid. I think this is a big learning lesson for HSC. I think it's a big learning lesson for the community, for content creators, for myself. And all we can do really is learn from this and do better going forward. And with that being said, I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. Much love to everybody. I hope your guys are doing great, and stay lifted. Peace.
Weasel, weasel, and weasel, weasel, weasel.